I'm especially excited to introduce our next speaker, who just a month ago was named one of the top 10 VR influencers in 2018. Sabarish, who will be coming up shortly, is part of the Knowledge Society. I'm not quite sure if everyone in the room knows who the Knowledge Society is. They are a student incubator created by founders, actually entrepreneurs in Toronto, but they are a Canadian incubator. And what they do is they build or develop exceptional people like him to tackle the world's most important problems. Now get this, and you've got to come up, Sabarish, because I think we need a visual. I feel like when I was 12 or 13, you would be the kind of person my mom would say, why can't you do what cousin Sabarish is doing, all right? So I would have envied you, but would have been inspired by you. And I think both of these things are going to happen now, even though I'm much older. Sabarish is the founder of WaypointAR, a navigation platform for indoor locations that uses augmented reality and artificial intelligence to make navigation more intuitive. Please join me in welcoming Sabarish Gnanamoorthy.
Hey everyone, so my name is Sabarish, I'm 15 years old, and I'm super passionate about virtual and augmented reality. I think VR and AR is going to have a huge impact on our future and how we live as a community and humanity, and I wanted to get into this industry as soon as I could. So what is VR and AR? So virtual reality, or VR, is essentially the ability to create new artificial realities in the 3D space that you can experience through these head-mounted displays. Some of the existing VR devices available in the market right now include the Google Cardboard, which is the introductory headset, Oculus Go, which is a new wireless headset, the Daydream View, which is Google's new headset, and the HTC Vive, one of the higher-end headsets. Augmented reality, or AR, is essentially the ability to alter existing realities by superimposing digital objects on top of it to enhance their life. So some of the augmented reality headsets and technologies that exist right now include the HoloLens by Microsoft, Meta, the Magic Leap, which just got released, and mobile AR technology. So I think all of you at some point in your life have used mobile AR technology, but you just don't know it because it's in applications like Snapchat or Pokemon Go, which are really famous around the world. And these experiences are contained within our phone screens, but give us a sneak peek at what the future and augmented reality will look like in the future. And so I wanted to get started learning about this tech and building for it as soon as I could. And companies such as Microsoft, Udacity, Apple, and Snapchat started supporting me and guiding me to start building within this industry. And when I saw the exponential growth that's in this market and how fast VR and AR is growing, this was also another key factor in why I wanted to get in here as soon as possible. Just 4 months ago, I was named as one of the top 10 VR influencers to be following in 2018, and this was a big moment for me to know that even I can create a change in this industry and actually start building. And later this year, I'm going to be talking at the Web Summit, which is the world's largest tech conference in front of over 70K plus people. So after learning about tech like VR and AR and building things with existing frameworks and technologies, I wanted to start building something on my own and build something that's my own product, and that's when I started WaypointAR. And WaypointAR is a navigation platform for indoor locations. It uses augmented reality and computer vision to make navigation a lot more intuitive within these indoor locations. Companies like Google and Apple have tried tackling this problem, and it's a really hard problem that we haven't been able to solve yet because there are no applications right now that actually exist for indoor locations and navigating within them. And I wanted to create this and create it for things like airports, museums, university campuses, malls, and complexes. And recently, WaypointAR was actually sponsored by the Teal Foundation so that we could start building this technology. So what does this all work based on, and what is the technology behind it? So mobile AR is based on two different things, ARKit and AR Core. And ARKit is Apple's version of the framework that's used for AR right now, and AR Core for Android. And they both use two technologies called visual inertial odometry and concurrent odometry and mapping. And these are basically allow for you to scan different objects within your environment, find feature points on them, and then place virtual objects on top of them to enhance your experience within your environment. And there are two parts to this technology. First is motion data, and basically this is from your phone, how you're moving and where you are within the environment. And the second is computer vision, scanning for planes and surfaces to place these objects on top of them eventually. So how do we go upon creating AR experiences that users actually love using? And that's a key part of also the product that I'm building. So I think the first part is thinking outside the box. Right now, we're all in these contained screens that are our phones, and we aren't thinking big enough with these, and we're very limited to this amount of space. But now we have essentially the entire world to work with and our entire 3D environment with us. So we really need to start thinking outside the box and creating user interface and user experiences that can take advantage of our entire environment. And right now, there are three ways that users start their experiences in AR. One is screen space, and you can think of this as Iron Man's holographic display and what he has when we're in the movies, and you can see all the different stats and things like that. And that's a very basic version of AR. Then there's real world, which is it's scanning planes, surfaces, things around you to place objects on top of them and then starts the experience from there. And object-based is using image targets or different objects around our environment to start the experience from there as well. So another really important thing is accessibility. And this is especially important because there's so many variables when you're creating an experience for a 3D environment and what can go on in that environment and the different things that can change. And you need to make it as simple and easy for the user to use and make it completely accessible based on where they are in the environment. And the final one, which I think is applicable for more traditional UI and AR UI, which is simplicity, and making it as easy as possible for the user to go upon using their application. So after looking at these different ways of creating experiences that users love, so how am I actually building Waypoint, and what are the technologies I'm employing for that? So the first part is floor plan and local coordinates. And basically, I'm getting the floor plan of whatever location I want to use for indoor navigation, and I'm placing a local coordinate grid over this. And what this is basically doing is allowing for me to pinpoint locations within these environments for destinations and starting points. Next, I need to define paths, waypoint targets, and image tags. And so WaypointAR experiences start at these different image tags or or objects, which you scan to start your experience and initialize the AR from there. Once you've initialized the image target, you need to start defining paths based on these image targets and the final destinations that you want to create for the users. So for example, in an office, it could be a meeting room, like the cafeteria or whatever it is, and you're able to define these. Once you've created these paths, you can define it so that the avatar that actually guides you within my application can allow for you to get to your final destination. The final part is transforming local coordinates to world transforms. And basically what this is taking the coordinates that are on my local coordinate map, changing them into 3D space, and allowing for the avatar to be right in front of you for your experience. And for this, I'm using an existing technology from Apple called Core Location, which is right now just used for mapping technology, but I'm taking it one step further and creating a plugin for it, which will allow for it to also be used for indoor navigation and allow for it to be used within this local coordinate map. So what does the future of VR and AR look like? So my vision of how this space is going to look in the future is one, alternate worlds, and the second, parallel worlds. And alternate worlds and parallel worlds are basically creating new artificial realities that replicate how our world is, allow for us to live within them, but also give us unique superpowers. And this is like super futuristic and where we are in the future, but I think this is what we're eventually building virtual and augmented reality technologies for. And when you look at the timeline of where we are with this technology and where we're going with it, I think we're already past smartphones. Right now, our smartphones are also getting integrated into AR. Apple's putting so much money into it. They have a secret AR headset in development. Google's putting so much money into AR and VR. Oculus just came out today with one of the biggest launches ever, which is a completely wireless 6 degree of freedom headset. And I think right now we're getting closer to augmented reality because it's a lot easier to use within our real environment and within our world. And virtual reality is a lot harder to adopt right away because it's almost taking away what our real world is and putting ourselves in a completely new world. And that's where I think we're going. So if you want to learn more about me and what I'm doing within this technology, check out sabarishg.com. And if you have any questions, let me know at my email. And if you want to learn, and in the future, I want to make the world a lot more of an exciting place and a positive place to live in using virtual and augmented reality. Thank you.